Boruto episode 83 spoilers. Now in this video I will be going over many spoilers about this next episode, and there's probably going to be some that you've seen, there's probably going to be some that you haven't seen. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys basically know I retweet all these spoilers that I do talk about in my videos. If you guys don't follow me, what are you doing? The link is going to be in the description below. But before I do get into the spoilers, I do want to tell you guys, the past couple of weeks I haven't really been reading a lot of my comments, but in the past couple of days I really started to get into the comments, and because the whole state of Boruto are very deep in two different arcs, you guys have a lot of theories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a video every Friday by the fans, for the fans, basically saying your theories, and I'll probably rank them as very interesting theories, decent theories, and probably long shot theories, and I think you guys are very much like that. As I said, you guys have a lot of theories and I want your voices to be heard. Now going into the actual spoilers, these spoilers come from a very reliable source, Organic Dinosaur. I report on her spoilers almost every week. If you guys don't follow her on Twitter, she basically posts all of her spoilers on Twitter, so I highly recommend you guys give her a follow. She's very good with these spoilers. Now going into the actual spoilers, the title is going to be Onoki's Justice. Going into the actual paragraph, it says they meet up with Onoki, but Boruto and his comrades have gotten separated from one another. Even though they were able to meet the dependable Onoki, he refuses to cooperate with them for some reason. In addition, they're on the receiving end of a surprise attack from the skies and from the Akuta, which made them get split up from one another. This week's Mitsuki, heading towards Seki's hideout, Boruto and his comrades are aiming to get to their point. Mitsuki is together with Seki and the others, but under the guidance of Seki, who calls Mitsuki his friend, Mitsuki enters their hideout. Alright, now my first read over of these spoilers, I didn't necessarily know exactly what they were talking about. They were talking about Onoki's justice, things like that, and I really didn't understand it, mainly because these spoilers came out before the last episode of Boruto came. And if you guys seen the last episode of Boruto, there was a major plot twist in that episode. The plot twist was that Onoki was on Lord Ku's side, and Onoki was behind all of this to begin with. Now at that point, it all made sense. If you guys remember, as soon as Onoki came to the village and he was talking about Boruto, Mitsuki started acting all weird. And of course, after the 5 Kage summit with Onoki, there was a letter mysteriously in Mitsuki's house, and then also they just took Mitsuki after that. As soon as Onoki showed up, that's when this whole thing started, and it all made sense. 1 + 1 was adding up to 2, basically. Now the title of the next episode is Onoki's Justice, which basically tells us that Onoki is going to be explaining his justice in the next episode and probably a little bit of his plan. Hopefully they do, but what I have to say is that, this ain't it, Chief. I mean, like, kidnapping the current tsuchikage and forcing another tsuchikage in power, which is Lord Ku, that ain't it. I'm pretty sure the villagers in the village, they're not going to feel so warm to the fact that their current tsuchikage that they've grown to know and love, it's pretty much not there anymore. Now, other things that was made present in these spoilers was the fact that Boruto and everybody else will actually be getting into a little bit of action in the next episode, and a lot of people are going to love that. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows that the last couple of episodes of Boruto has been extremely slow, minus the huge plot twist in the last episode, and now we're going to finally get to see Boruto, Sarada, and everybody else get into a little bit of action with the Akuta. Now, we all know that the Akuta are very strong. We could pretty much classify them as on a Jonin's level. We've seen like one Akuta take down like 3 Hidden Leaf Jonins, which is a huge controversy because all the Jonins look weak, but that's besides the point. We know that these Akuta are going to be extremely strong. This is going to be a huge task for Boruto and Sarada, not just because they'll be fighting the Akuta, but they're going to be split up while they are fighting the Akuta, so it's going to be a one-on-one type of battle. Of course, we don't expect these guys to completely be demolishing Akuta, so we'll pretty much be evaluating their tactical skills and how they get out of a very dangerous situation that they look like they have no chance of possibly winning. Now later on in these spoilers, they talk about Mitsuki finally arriving to the hideout where Seki and everybody else is. This is going to be very interesting, and I hope Onoki does explain why they would need Mitsuki in the next episode. And I don't want to totally disregard what Seki actually said, because Seki did give a reason about why they wouldn't need Mitsuki, which was the fact that their experiments are dying extremely fast and they want to know exactly why Mitsuki is having the same lifespan as regular humans. But in my opinion, I feel like it has to be something bigger than that. They're basically trying to overthrow the current tsuchikage, and they're trying to do it with force. If they weren't going to try to do it with force, or they weren't going to try to start a revolutionary war within the Hidden Stone Village, they would have done it the old-fashioned way, the same way they tried to get rid of other kages in the past. They would have convened a panel of grand elders and Jonin, and they would have voted the current tsuchikage out. But obviously, this seems like it's going to be a forceful transition between tsuchikages, from Madam Tsuchikage to Lord Ku, and I really think it's going to end up being interesting. Now, we have been seeing this tailed beast looking figure. This might actually be what they have in store to basically back their war intentions of possibly switching Tsuchikage and possibly changing the way of the Hidden Stone Village, and it's very possible. Now, the other spoilers I did report on last week, there was something additional that was added to episode 83 spoilers, and it was the fact that after everybody else would fight the Akuta individually, they would be heading towards the meeting areas. So this does indicate that they would probably have some sort of tactical maneuvers to get away from the Akuta and get away from Lord Ku. Now, potentially the meeting area is going to end up being where Inojin is at the cave, because they did say, hey, if they get into any trouble, we'll just meet back here, and Inojin has to stay there with the Akuta. So this is basically what we expect to see in the next episode of Boruto. Again, hopefully it's going to be a very good episode with a lot of action. I'm really hoping that the action scenes about Boruto and everybody else fighting the Akuta are going to take up majority of the episode, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a big part of what we do want to see. And of course, we all want to hear Onoki's actual explanation about what exactly is happening with everything in the village, and why are you doing all of this? Why are you kidnapping Kurisugi? Why are you trying to have Lord Ku take over the tsuchikage spot? And why aren't you doing it in peaceful means? But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below, man. It's going to be a very interesting week next week. But it's me, your boy, Baara, and we out.